Papa Mau Mau.
Welcome to the Dave Clark 5 podcast. Oh shit, no, that's the other one.
It's the other podcast.
That's right. What is this one again?
Craig, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to Let's Spend the Night Together. The definitive Rolling Stones podcast.
Definitive.
Once you listen to us, you don't have to worry about being a fan anymore. You know it all. It's a thrill.
Right. Anyone will just be a fan default after listening.
I mean, who doesn't want to be a fan of somebody named the Human Riff? Not me.
Oh my god.
That guy sounds interesting. He should be in a freak show, maybe.
Sir Keef?
Yeah.
Maybe a rock and roll circus.
See what you did there. Mm-hmm. That was good.
Which all you lucky listeners can can go back and check out.
Yeah, you can buy it on Amazon. You can just watch it on YouTube.
You can get it on vinyl.
Watch it on YouTube. Get it for free. You say vinyl?
Yeah.
I believe it's on Laserdisc.
Yeah, we're gonna try and get it on YouTube and SoundCloud. For sure SoundCloud. And we got a rock and roll circus coverage. Comprehensive. Every second covered.
We've done the rock and roll circus.
What's the second one technically?
We've done Altamont. We covered those two things.
Yeah.
But today I want to talk about something a little different. Okay. I want to talk about love.
Oh.
Now, what do you know about love? Because I know you have a heart of stone.
It's all you need.
Yeah. I've heard that before. I think Liverpudlian told me that.
Liverpudlian lad?
Yeah.
Yeah. They talk about that a lot.
I have a few stories that are about love. And sometimes, you're not quite sure if it's love or lust or somewhere in between.
Yeah. Or bestiality.
Well, it could be that,
Or
kangaroos are hard to capture. I mean, let's face it. Let's be real. Come on.
You gotta have their claws removed.
Yeah, that's why they have those fucking boomerangs. So you can knock out a kangaroo and have your way with it. You and your Aborigines friend can.
Oh my god!
Do a little something. Way? I saw that in Crocodile Dundee. It was.
Oh my god. Paul Hogan just won't leave the damn kangaroos alone.
I said, why, Paul, it's dead. Why are you fucking it?
Oh my god.
I said, because it's dead. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay. Little tangent, sorry. I just saw that movie, so I had to comment on it.
Crocodile Dundee, 1 or 2?
Both.
You cool Illinois.
Colin Quinn, he was part of the cast of Crocodile Dundee.
Oh, really?
2, because he goes to New York in the second one.
Of course.
And so Colin got hired. He had one line. So what he did is he took the script, he went home, and redrafted the whole script. He wrote it in where his character was like the buddy yeah. And he actually went in the next day and handed it. He said, my girlfriend typed it up for me. So he had to get it printed out. He had to go and show the director, and he said the director didn't even open it up. He just looked at it.
Oh, wow, yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah, he's like, well, hey, I had an idea for the script.
Wow.
I'm just like, okay, well, you took out like one actor and just inserted yourself into his role.
Oh, wow, yeah. It was a little late in the process.
I believe he got fired for that.
Really?
Yeah. I could be wrong.
And that's why, or maybe just that's why it got down to one line.
Yeah. Oof. It's not like that's going to win an Emmy or anything.
No. That's rough.
Or, what is it, Emmy or Oscar?
Oscar?
Yeah. Isn't it Emmys for like TV shows?
Emmys like TV, yeah. I wish they had a Crocodile Dundee TV series. Origin.
They did until that Stingray killed that bloke.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's true.
He's a heartbreaker.
Oh, jeez. Sternum breaker.
So yeah, Craig, love. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, and that poor guy on that TV show died in a horrible way. So love. Let's get back to love.
Yeah. Love is great. I think when
love is real.
Love is real.
Real is love.
Real is love. People in music, they tend to find a lot of inspiration from people they're in love with, people they're trying to be with. George Harrison's wife comes to mind. about her because Eric Clapton, he wrote Layla about her.
Layla.
Yeah, and I do believe they ended up getting together later on, but it didn't like live
She
up
got
to
him
that.
on his knees.
I believe it was a sub relationship. But don't quote me.
He was sub.
Yeah.
Small being hands? A big rock star. Yeah, slow hand.
What did I say? Small hand.
Small hand. Slow hand.
That would be a horrible nickname for somebody that plays guitar.
Small hands.
Small hands. Okay. Yeah. Oh, and we have a few other guests today. Obviously, John Lennon. I don't know where they are. I think they're outside smoking a cigarette.
Texted me or anything.
Or maybe taking a piss out back. But so we have John Lennon and Mads Mikkelsen to the show for the first time. The actor, yeah. He's going to be in Rogue One. That's coming up a few weeks, I believe. So
that's right.
So yeah, I'm really excited that we got him here.
Famously played Hannibal Lecter.
Played Hannibal the Cannibal, yeah.
And
it was good stuff.
What was that show called? Hannibal.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good actor. He's just a handsome gentleman from what country?
He's from Denmark.
Is that what it is? Denmark?
Yeah. Copenhagen.
That's right. Copenhagen.
Yeah, maybe Mads will help us out with this. What do you know about Craig? What do you know about Margaret Trudeau?
Margaret Trudeau?
Trudeau.
I don't know.
She married the Prime Minister of Canada in the 70s. This is a little how they met, and this is sweet, you know. I love these stories, how couples get together.
Oh, boy.
As an 18-year-old vacationing in Tahiti with her family, she met Pierre Trudeau, who was then Minister of Justice. Margaret did not recognize him, and she felt, in fact, thought little of their encounter, but Trudeau was captivated by the carefree flower child, 30 years younger than he, and began to pursue. So this guy's, you know, he's throwing the whole... Mistake. Yeah, he's going after this young chick, 30 years.
His flower child?
And, you know...
Howard Stark was a father to us all. You know, flower child.
So they end up getting together, marrying, and people are, you know, it doesn't look good. They have 3 kids.
That's like probably the biggest scandal in Canadian history. And I can hear it's like not really a big deal, but... Though the couple initially appeared to have a very close and loving relationship, the marriage soon began to fall apart. Trudeau resented her husband's constant work-related absences. So he's the Prime Minister. She knows that. Yeah. And she's upset because he has to be the Prime Minister. Okay. The marriage soon began to fall apart. Trudeau resented her husband's constant work, absences, and was forced to raise her 3 young sons largely by herself. Beyond the normal extensive publicity that her high-profile position brought, in a few instances she made her own headlines. Trudeau smuggled drugs into the Prime Minister's luggage, made scantily clad appearances at Studio 54. Studio 54, famous swingers club in New York at the time. I wouldn't sit down on anything. You might catch... Definitely have your antibacterial
get some shots before you go in there.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, she was acting like a real goose. Over the time, the marriage disintegrated to the point that she said in her book that Trudeau had a secret affair with Ted Kennedy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Teddy.
So the way that the Rolling Stones come in is right then and there.
Studio 54?
No, this is their... Hold on one second. 1977. Margaret Trudeau and the Stones. Margaret Trudeau spent her 6th wedding anniversary without her Prime Minister husband. So she didn't... So she vanished. Nobody knew where she was. So, yeah. It was their 6th wedding anniversary. Prime Minister didn't know where she was. Instead, she was partying with the Rolling Stones at the time. In a Toronto nightclub. And later in Mick Jagger's limousine.
Just where you want your wife to be.
In
Mick Jagger's limousine? So if you were looking through like the passenger window, I don't think you'd see her.
No.
I think her head would be lower.
You think it would be lower than
It'd be lower than the window.
That's interesting.
Mick would be looking up, straight up in the air with his eyes rolled back in his head.
And she's doing like a blowfish, sort of. Okay, yeah, Mick's limousine. The rendezvous sparked rumors that she was having an affair with the band's frontman.
Oh, man.
He was
a backdoor man that night.
Backdoor man. Come on now. She later appeared in New York City. The scandal signaled the end of the couple's tumultuous marriage. You see, this is you're in love, you're young, you're in love, and it all goes to shit. The final straw is you go and hang out with the Rolling Stones.
Oh my God.
And I just see, it's, just you think the article's, okay, there's the last line of the article is the best. Margaret denied having affairs with any of the members of the Stones. Later telling a conference on mental health, I should have slept with every single one of them. Huh. So now she's an old lady and she wishes that she would have just got...
In other words, yeah, she got at least Mick and wishes she would have gotten all 5.
Well, Wyman would have been down. He probably would have, asked to go last.
The Poonhound? Wyman. He probably would have gone first and last.
Jeez. Yeah, that's a great, yeah, that article just delivers.
Bill the Poonhound Wyman.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so, it's just sad because I thought, they were actually, live together forever.
Forever?
Yeah.
Hopeless
forever.
romantic.
So now, Craig...
You're in love with this girl. That's the best place for her to go, I think. To go hang out in the Rolling Stones tour bus.
I did a little
something.
I did a little snooping, and I wanted to see if it was bullshit or not. That she slept with anybody? So I was looking at their autobiographies.
You were going through their belongings.
I was going through their belongings. They had no idea. I took what I wanted and I left. No. So I was looking at their biographies, and Keith said that Mick Jagger slept with the girl, with the Prime Minister's wife.
There it is.
And then Ronnie Wood, somebody just asked him, he's like, "Yeah, I did it."
Oh wow! He was across the room when they were asking
he did.
Keith. I did it.
Yeah.
Oh, so Ronnie, we're not talking to you.
Eskimo twins or buddies. Yeah.
Probably many times over. I bet all 5 of those guys, except maybe Charlie Watts.
Charlie Watts was always married. Always married. He was the guy that...
Just never changed, Charlie.
Yeah, you hate what you do as long as you get fucking...
He probably hates his wife.
As long as you get 100 quid a week, then you're down.
So all the other members are making millions, but Charlie just signed a contract years ago for 100 quid.
Slave labor.
Just he was the best
He's
paid
pretty
member
much an indentured servant that just plays drums.
Yeah. That would explain the look on his face.
I was looking, watching this documentary of people being enslaved. Slavery, obviously in the Americas, and then in the history of Egypt, Jewish slaves and things like that.
Yeah.
And it went to indentured servants. They were talking about that, and they said if you. It was almost 50 to 75% that if you signed up for 7 years, that most people couldn't live 7 years into dirt.
God!
In servitude, because they would just die because they were being worked so crazy.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
They just worked through illness and stuff, and
that's crazy. Okay, enough of this fucking. Enough history, man. This is supposed to... You're supposed to listen to the podcast, have a good time. Not think about horrible things. There's a lot of sexuality
what do you
in this
think,
podcast.
Going forward, what album do you think you're looking forward to digging into and covering? Kind of giving comprehensive...
Once we get to... Beggar's Banquet and stuff.
Yeah.
That's the honey pot.
That's
roll me over and find the wet spot, Craig.
Oh, where did that come from? Oh my God.
My favorite record is Sticky Fingers.
Yeah. I think Exile on Main Street's my favorite.
Oh, that's a great one too.
Yeah.
Was that the?
That one was a double album, I believe. But in our generation, it's a single CD. And to the young generation now, that there is no 2 or single, or it's just a digital file. Remember how long we'd be in CD stores?
Craig, before we listen to this, I would like to dedicate it to Hannibal Lecter.
To Hannibal?
Yes. You must surround yourself from God as you listen to this song.
What kind of food would you make to this?
To this?
Yeah.
Oh, you know something. Red, white. I don't think you should laugh at me.
Some red wine?
I love Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah, he's a
good
sweet
guy.
man. He knows just what meal to make with any kind of music.
Uh-huh. And he knows how to be a complete creep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's fucking get this ball.
Just another moonlight
rolling again.
man.
Topic of love, Craig, and here, let's spend the night together. I don't know if you would say it's an obsession, but we talk about John Lennon a lot because there was a rivalry between the Stones.
There was, yeah.
And the Beatles. And who's your favorite? My favorite Beatles, John Lennon. I think he might have been the most flawed, too. But I like, everything that comes from John
I think he
Lennon.
is, like, the most interesting. And, he's I mean, they're all, like, really good singers, but I think I just like the sound of his voice. Like, in a lot of his songs. I mean, the obvious thing is that he was, like, edgier.
Yeah.
And Paul was, like, had, like, the
He's talking about
songs.
no God.
But, yeah.
And no religion, too.
No possessions.
So what do you know about Yoko Ono, Craig?
I know she's a delicate flower. Absolutely genius artist. Poet laureate.
Avant-garde.
I don't know what laureate is.
Yes.
Avant-garde. A little avant-garde.
That is good. I would like very much to listen to avant-garde. So I want to talk about these two minds, two balls of kinetic energy mixing with each other.
Totally.
Blows up, man.
Two geniuses.
Exactly.
John Lennon
oh my
and
God.
Yoko Ono.
I'm getting a brain freeze just thinking about it. Okay.
Christ, you know it ain't easy.
Okay, there are two this is about them meeting for the first time. I thought this would be interesting. Since we already talked about love loss, it seems to be very hard if you're a rock and roller to have a relationship with somebody.
Yeah.
Keep it for a long time.
Yeah.
I know Ozzy's been with his wife for a while, but I'm sure he's...
But she's like dropped him a few times. And
and I'm sure he's got some stuff on the side.
Yeah.
Let's be real here.
Well, and even...
You're not going to hear that in other podcasts.
Even John, the Lost Weekend. He's lost.
Yeah, that's one of our episodes that we talked about the Lost Weekend. And John's Lost Week. It was 18 months. Yeah, May Pang just...
She got leveled.
Yeah.
By the Carpenter. A.K.A. John Lennon.
Okay. May Pang. I'm never going to forget that.
May Pang got Pootie Pang.
Pootie Pang. There are two versions of the story regarding how Lennon and Ono first met. According to the first, November 9th, 1966, day of our Lord, 9th, Lennon went to a gallery. Lennon was initially unimpressed at what he saw at the exhibit.
Hello, my name's John. I'm a little unimpressed.
Including a pricey bag of nails, but once...
That's a pricey bag of nails.
One piece had a ladder with a spyglass at the top. When he climbed the ladder, Lennon felt a little foolish, but he looked through the spyglass and he saw the word yes, which he said...
Yes, I can read it plain as day.
Which he said meant he didn't walk out. So he didn't walk out because he fucking climbed a ladder and looked through.
Through
this spyglass and saw it. He said yes. And he thought, holy shit.
Oh my
He didn't
goodness.
walk out. It was all positive, whereas most concept art he encountered was anti-everything.
Oh my.
Okay, so this is a story about one of her pieces. That's why it's a little hard to stomach.
Yeah.
Lennon also intrigued by Ono's Hammer and Nail is the name of the piece.
Hammer and nail?
Hammer and Nail. Viewers hammered a nail into a wooden board, creating the art piece. Although the exhibit had not yet opened.
It's brilliant.
Lennon wanted to hammer a nail into the clean board, but Ono stopped him. Dunbar asked her, "Don't you know who this is? He's a millionaire. He might buy it." Ono supposedly had never heard of the Beatles. Do you
haven't heard of me?
Do you believe that she'd never heard of the Beatles?
A resounding no.
Bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
She is a fucking bullshit artist her entire career. So.
I mean, she's no, lot lizard, but...
No, I guess
she's no lizard.
A lizard.
Yoko, I'm gonna turn you into Swiss cheese.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so she didn't know the Beatles, but relented on the condition that Lennon pay her 5 shillings to fucking hammer this stupid thing. To which Lennon replied,
"I'll pay you 6.
I'll give you an imaginary 5 shillings and hammer an imaginary nail in." Wow, way to go.
Oh, wow.
Way to go, John.
Smooth
You really
operator.
fucking, yeah.
The master at work. Christ, you know it ain't easy. You know how hard it can be. And so Yoko, was that it for her? Or was she still, testing him out? Or was she
sorry.
Okay,
here we go. In 2002 interview, she said, "I was very attracted to him. It was a really strange situation. The two had began corresponding. And in September 1967, Lennon sponsored Ono's solo show at some fucking gallery in London. Who gives a shit? God. When Lennon's wife, Cynthia, asked for an explanation for Ono's telephoning their home, so this bitch was calling him on the phone at his house, and his kids are there, his wife and his kids.
Oh, wow.
What is it like?
Julian, be quiet, I'm on the phone.
What's Karen, that was all we had. When Karen's when she's Karen. At the fucking with all the buttons and stuff.
Karen.
With the people, the intercom. There's a whore. You should know there's a whore.
You should know there's a whore.
A ready-made whore. All right,
Karen.
That's all we had, Karen. All right, when Lennon's wife, Cynthia, asked for...
it's all we had.
When Lennon's wife, Cynthia, asked for an explanation for Ono's telephoning their home, he told her that Ono was only trying to obtain money for her avant-garde bullshit.
It's just for her avant-garde bullshit. Don't worry about it.
I love how she's like, oh, okay, well, that dismisses that.
Yeah, that's a good enough reason.
In early '68, while the Beatles were making their famous visit to India, which they went to the Maharishi, whatever.
Oh yeah.
That's when Keith Richards said that he stopped believing in the Beatles.
Really?
On this trip.
He thought it was gimmicky.
He thought it was bullshit. All this was bullshit.
Yeah. Brian Jones was into the Indian stuff too.
Yeah, way before a lot of people.
Yeah.
Okay, visit to India. Lennon wrote Julia and included a reference to Ono. "Ocean child calls me," referring to the translation of Yoko's Japanese spelling.
Because the rest of that song is about his mom, right? Is that his mom's name, Julia?
I think so. Yeah.
Julia Lennon.
In May 68, while his wife was on holiday in Greece, do you think she was getting Greeked in Greece?
By John?
Not by John. He stayed in London. London town. Lennon invited Ono to visit. They spent the night recording what would become the Two Virgins album.
Oh.
After which, he said, they made love at dawn.
Of course, it's the best time.
When Lennon's wife returned home, she found Ono wearing her bathrobe and drinking tea with Lennon, who simply said, "Oh, hi."
Oh, hi. Wow, that sucks for her.
Lennon wrote on and recorded "Happiness
Beatle.
is a Warm Gun," which contains sexual references to Ono.
Oh, wow.
A few weeks later, Lennon's marriage was over with Cynthia.
So it was while he was doing White Album? The Liverpudlian Lads?
Yeah.
Because that was Julia and Happiness is a Warm Gun.
Can you believe that, though? I mean, that he would...
Two virgins, which of course neither of us were.
What'd Gareth say? What's your fantasy?
Oh, yeah.
Two twins at the same time?
Two lesbians, twins. Or two lesbians, two sisters, watched. Lesbians. They're twins or something. Yeah, I'm just watching. He's like, I'd like to hear more from Gary.
So what do you think about love in the big city, Craig? You were just a country boy. You're like fucking Axl Rose. You got your hair pooped up. Boy. You got a nice perm.
Yeah.
Just country boy. You got a piece of wheat hanging out the side of your mouth.
Take me down to the Prairie Dog City. That's what I'm all about.
But yeah, all these people, they seem to be to marry, divorce, remarry, like tons of times. Paul McCartney, how many kids does he have? How many marriages does he have?
Paul McCartney. How many kids?
Well, John Lennon, I know, had 3 marriages.
Yeah, that's right. He had John and Julian.
I'm not very surprised that the Stones helped break up a marriage. And as far as I heard, that the girl was she was kind of into whatever happened, And she had sex with at least 2 of them, though,
Yeah, Ronnie and Mick. That's actually 3 because we can assume the Poonhound Bill Wyman.
Oh my God!
Obviously hit it. That's
you don't
even ask him.
He went last. I get last.
They're like.
You don't go into Mick Jagger's limousine and expect not to have sex.
Yeah. Or to have firsts, because he's going to always get first.
He always gets first. He gets greens.
He always gets greens.
All the greenhorns.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God.
Bill takes on whatever job is given to him.
Yeah. He can handle the load, Bill.
Oh, my God. And he just quit. Well, I guess we'll get to that at some point.
Well, actually,
the Stones, especially when you suck.
Another topic, if you're listening to this, it's November 1st. Beautiful Sacramento, California.
Mm-hmm. Home of the Sacramento Kings.
Home of the Sacramento Kings, the worst NBA team there is.
Shout out to Boogie Cousins.
I've been cheering for Chinese teams.
Oh, wow. Shanghai. What is it, the Flying Tigers or something?
Yeah. That's better basketball than the Kings. But, oh my God, man.
They might take us.
So I was going to say...
I like Coach Yeager.
The next, NXT.
Yeah.
The next podcast, we're going to talk about Bill Wyman's...
Bill Wyman.
marriage to, and I believe she was 18.
Oh, wow.
And he's in his 40s.
And the only thing he regretted is he said it's a little old for him.
Yeah.
I don't know what he meant by that.
Jeez, that's so bad.
He said she's kind of a granny.
Oh my
Bill.
Goodness.
I don't know.
What is wrong with you, Bill?
That's weird, Bill.
You need to take he needs to take a lap around the parking lot.
Oh my God. I bet her parents were pretty cool people.
You probably fucking paid him off, that fucking creep.
Yeah, that could be.
Okay, so we're not saying that Bill did anything against the law.
No.
Obviously, the Queen's Guard would have put shackles on
anyone in the Queen's realm.
In the realm, they'd have to be prosecuted,
Yeah.
Within, relatively speaking, in the realm.
Yeah. The realm of which we speak.
Yeah. You get some shekels. He probably paid it off with some shillings.
It's 10 quid.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I don't even remember how we got there.
So what is your favorite Rolling Stones record?
I think Exile on Main Street's my favorite. It's just like a little journey all the way through. It's got some amazing fucking songs on And like I heard they did, isn't it? It's double album, so there's 4 sides.
Yeah,
and each one is kind of has its own flavor to it.
Yeah.
And one of them is like Keith's side.
Yeah,
so
we haven't actually
getting one
talked
song,
about
he
that.
got like a whole side.
We haven't brought that up, like how awesome Keith starts to have his own songs on the records.
Yeah.
And
That's
some
right.
of them are just really, really good.
Some of them are really good, yeah. Well, and so at first, they're not even, like, they're playing mostly covers. First record has one original. And Brian Jones was still in the band, but it was the songwriting team of Jagger Richards that wrote Tell Me. And basically all their songs.
Yeah.
And not Brian Jones, who was, like, kind of the leader. And then when that happened, it just, like, are you really the leader? Like, you don't even write the song, you just play slide guitar.
We talked about...
not that he's not amazing, but...
Yeah.
Just he kind of wasn't the leader anymore.
We talked about, famous kind of, like, love triangles.
Yeah.
In rock. That happened with Brian Jones' girlfriend.
Really?
Who I, from what I've read and I watched the movie...
Yeah.
He was a real piece of shit. Like, he would beat this girl up and, like...
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
He would get really drunk, beat people up. And she eventually, like, left him and went to Keith and, like, stayed with Keith.
Really?
Had, like, a kid or 2 with Keith.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so that kind of, like, isolated Brian even more.
Yeah. And probably the Poonhound Bill Wyman probably tapped it.
Yeah.
2 or 3
he
times.
tapped the keg.
Kick the tires.
Bill Wyman... I mean, if he goes into a bar, he's looking for somebody that's, like, like, holding the bar up. Like, she's that big.
Oh, my God. Looking for something fast and loose?
Yeah. Something strange for a little change.
Oh, wow. Something... I don't know. I don't know. I wanted a rhyme for quid. Like, quid.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, we might need an all Poonhound podcast episode.
Yeah, we talk about the wedding.
Just like maybe 3 or 4 hours about Bill Wyman.
Oh,
being
easily.
At least.
What are we at right now?
We're at 6 hours tonight. We've been gone.
It's not bad.
No, we're at about 33 minutes of like amazingly informative Rolling Stones history.
Do you know what Kiss calls their history?
Let's see. I can
take a guess. This is the first time we've talked about Kiss, and I don't know about you.
Take a wild guess, trying to be super creative and original. Kistery?
Good guess, yeah.
Man.
You're right on the money, my man.
I must be on the same wavelength to have thought of something that original.
Kistery. I don't like Kiss at all.
They suck.
And they seriously they've sold, and they say, oh, you're a sellout? Yeah, I sell out every night. That still means you're a douche.
Yeah, it's like, so yeah, you are. That's a way of saying yes,
yeah.
You are a sellout. They are just definitely came into it as a business.
My favorite Kiss
from the beginning.
Kiss merchandise.
Yeah. Is
the Kiss coffin.
Oh, what if one of the members is in it?
No. It's Dimebag Daryl. That guy. Yeah, coins on his eyes. So he can pay the ferryman or whatever it is.
And the river Styx.
I don't know. Yeah, but Dimebag Daryl, the guy from Pantera.
Oh yeah.
He got killed.
He went in a Kiss
coffin. Yeah, they bought him a Kiss coffin.
I heard there were Kiss coffins.
And there's like stereos built into the coffin, so there's like music that plays.
Heavy metal can play.
Heavy metal while you're fucking 6 feet underground.
Facing the devil, face to face, bro.
Yeah, face to face with the
devil. Better have some metal playing.
Bet it's hot down there. Oh. No.
Shit.
I don't think. I don't even want to go down that. If there's a God, did he allow Dimebag Daryl in heaven?
Oh my God.
Seems like a loaded question.
If there's a God, would he allow Dimebag Daryl to die?
What's that?
Would he allow Dimebag Daryl to die? I mean, Dimebag Daryl is...
Well, you know how he died, right?
Too much Dimebag?
No. There's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, no such thing. He slipped on a banana peel and hit his head.
It was funny bone. No, he
died.
There was a guy that shot up, like him and his band were playing.
Oh, Mark David Chapman had him sign something for him, and then he just went up and shot him later on in the day.
No, that's our homie John Lennon.
Oh, that was me.
I think it's pretty interesting that John like moved in next door. Because all this time, like my whole life, I thought he was dead.
Yeah.
But he's not.
Nope. Right here.
Oh, man.
Oh, Mark David Chapman. He was, some people say he lost his temper quick. I didn't see that, personally. Seemed like a nice guy.
A nice bloke.
Nice bloke, yeah.
Alright, Craig. I'm just fucking... In closing.
And this just kind of leads nicely into the Mark David Chapman episode we're doing next.
No, we have to do...
Of course we're not doing that.
I like John Lennon too much to talk about his death.
Yeah.
He's alive.
It's pretty disrespectful to me.
Strong.
He's sitting right next to me. I'm talking this shit.
I mean, he could easily hit you. Now he's just staring at you.
John, I just want to say I'm sorry. I apologize from the bottom of my heart.
We've been slagging off Yoko. We're trying not to do that. And not every episode is going to be about
a Yoko bash fest,
Yoko Ono,
or bashing the Who, or bashing Kiss.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'd love to have a podcast that was just that.
Just bash music we don't like.
6 hours at a time.
Yeah, it's true. You don't have to put something down just to prop something else up.
It's that avant-garde, man. I just don't understand it. I'm just not with it.
Guess not.
I'm not with the Dada movement.
The Dada movement. What about Lou Reed? Lou Reed might stop by one of these days, too.
My God. I hope.
He's a good chap.
He can talk about heroin.
He's got... It's like if it's shit, complete dog shit art, you just don't get it. And that's what Lou can explain to all of us.
All I know is vicious, I hate you with a flower.
Yeah, the only vicious I know how to be is to hit someone with a flower. That's it.
Alright, everybody. Thank you for listening.
Goodbye.
Take care of yourself. Spay and noodle. You'll pet.
Oh, God. Thanks for spending the night together with us.
Yes, thank you.
We can still find a way to word that.
Thank you for spending the night with us.
Have a week.